Good morning, everyone. My name is Phindile Mkhize, and today I'll be speaking to you about copy, paste, refactor, how to steal ideas like a pro. I'm super excited to share with you today what I've prepared. I'm so excited that I want to commemorate this memory forever. So I'm going to cosplay as a Gen Z and take a little selfie with you guys. Because before we start, first, let me take a selfie. Okay, I'm going to start from this side and go this side. Is everybody ready? Just leaning forward on your seat. Okay. Yeah, cheese. Thank you, thank you. I'm also going to use that as evidence at other conferences that if you put the title, How to Steal, a lot of people are going to show up. So thank you for being daring and coming to my talk today. Uh, Speaking about my talk, I'm first going to lay out the rules of what this is not going to be about. Some of you have seen this movie before, some of you have not. I'll give you a little synopsis. So this guy has some acquaintances. They come to him with this great idea, and he's like, nah, I won't build that. And then he goes ahead and actually builds it. And then he gets like this $1 billion organization at the end. So, no, you're not supposed to be at the end of a lawsuit about intellectual property theft at the end of this talk, okay? But if you do get a $1 billion organization, I inspired you, okay? And also this, I see a lot of developers in the room. Y'all know a little copy and paste. Those who don't know what this is like the Me Too movement for bugs in tech. You go here and you're like, I don't know what to do anymore. And they're like, me too. So no, we're not going to be talking about the regular stuff that you do on your regular job. Yes, your boss knows you go on this site. But we're going to be talking about something really cool, something that's going to get your brain juices flowing, things that are going to get you to ideas that are going to build the future. For us to do that, I'm going to go on a little story time. So, back in 2019, I was a recent graduate. I had graduated in management, but unfortunately, my career wasn't taking off. Instead of actual management, I was in house management. My mom enjoyed that a lot. A lot of chores were being done in the house. But as everyone does who's at home, I doom scrolled on my phone. And at the time, Facebook was the thing. And I came across an ad, and it was very interesting. It was from this place called Umuzi, and it said, Kickstart your tech career. And I was like, okay, I like tech. Okay, I love my phone. And they talked about a 1 year learnership, which is going to be sponsored, and you get to learn all these cool things. But I was like, tech? Well, every time my mom has a problem with her phone, I'm the one she comes to. If she loads airtime and she doesn't know where it went between the time she needed to call, I'm the one who figures it out. So I felt qualified to be able to apply for this thing, and I did. And guess what? I got accepted with zero coding experience, zero knowledge about actual tech stuff. But I knew at the end that if all else fails, just turn it off and on again. And now looking back, I actually had a lot of experience. So it began. I packed up my little bags all the way in KZN, came to Johannesburg, and as I sat in front of the sponsors, they asked me, "Tell us a little about your tech career." I was like, "Well, if you have a problem with your phone, you call me, okay? I will fix everything." They accepted it, they liked it, they saw potential, and my year started. I was in front of my computer learning everything I needed to learn about web development and the browser. And a year later, I knew everything and anything about all the errors you can get in the browser when you're trying to develop. The people that actually sponsored me, or the organization, was BBD, the ones who are sponsoring this event today. Shout out to BBD. I started my internship and everything was going great. The exact same thing I was doing at home was the exact same thing I was doing at the office. Here's some evidence so my boss knows that, I'm doing quite great. And as the year continued, everything was fine. I was having the time of my life. I was in stand-up meetings where I understood nothing, but I was learning, and that's all I wanted to do. It was during COVID at the time when I started, so the office was usually empty. There was a guy who always had bananas, I don't know why. There was IT who was always ready to help, and there's always marketing and HR. And BBD does these things where they invite outside people to come and talk about BBD or tech as an industry, which is great, by the way. If you get to attend any of these, they're amazing. And as I sat there, this guy went to the front and started setting up to speak to us. And I was like, okay, I've seen him around. And then he took out bananas from his bag. I was like, okay. He probably didn't finish his lunch. And then he took out wires. And I was like, well, we're in tech. Wires comes with the industry. It's fine. And then he took out a drone. And I was like, we're inside. Where is he about to fly this thing? And then he proceeded to speak about how he's going to take all of these things and mash them together using the magical language of JavaScript. And he is going to fly the drone using the bananas. Yeah, exactly. But then he did it. He actually flew said drone with said bananas. I know, it's crazy. I went to AI so you guys can see this. So I'm not going to play the whole talk. I told AI there's a man flying drone with bananas, and this is what it came up with. It was insane. I witnessed a man flying drones with bananas, and I sat there mind blown. How could anybody come up with this idea? Why would anybody come up with this idea? But then as I looked around, it wasn't just me. We were all like, what the heck is happening in tech? But most of all, the feeling that I came up with that day was being inspired. You know, the fact that we can take regular things that are around us, combine them with the knowledge of tech that we have, and make something amazing. And I was like, if he can do that, that means we can do that. And if we can do that, I can do that. Now I'm like, okay, I need to come up with an idea. Okay, he's flown bananas with drones, great. I need to come up with something better. And months went by and nothing. And then in June of the 26th, I woke up one day and there was still nothing. I wanted to give up. I was like, maybe I'm not the innovator. We'll leave these things to this guy and everybody else who's like him. But as Einstein says, show me a satisfied man and I'll show you a failure. I was not satisfied and I'm definitely not a failure. So we're gonna try and make something happen. So I thought back to my journey in tech and how I came about to know all the things that I knew. Some of you might be familiar with these faces. Indian uncle who knows all the tech in the world on YouTube showed me that if I just listen to what he says or do what he says or follow these tutorials, I'm going to be able to come up with something that is amazing. I just do what he does and then go back and figure out some things later. But that's where I need to start. If I can't figure it out for myself, I shouldn't be giving up. I should be Yes, I should be able to continue on in my journey. Okay, so I'm gonna copy and paste where I got this inspiration from. Let's go. So this was the guy, the bananas, the drone, the wires, and the JavaScript. First thing, he's gotta go. I'm the one in charge now. But I grew up in a civilized household, so we're not gonna play with bananas. Food is important. My mom always says there are starving children in the streets of New York, so please finish your plates, okay? And I've seen a lot of fail videos when it comes to drones, and I like my face, so I'm not gonna use a drone. But then I'm gonna keep the wires, because that's how everything's gonna get connected. And of course, JavaScript rules. Everybody knows the best language ever. Thank you, random citizen. So now, what am I going to use as something that's conductive to be able to fly, well, able to do this project that I'm going to do? And as I was scrolling on social media again, I came across something really amazing called electric paint. So you paint whatever you want to paint, and when you connect it, it will be able to pick up the current on whatever painting that you have. Done. Now, he liked drones. I'm not a big drone person. I don't want to, I don't own one, and I don't think I want to own one anytime soon. So what's something that I like? And I thought about it. I started learning piano a couple of years ago. I'm on my way to being a protege. So that's what I will build, okay? I'm going to get a canvas, paint myself a piano, use some wires, connect everything, and then we'll see how it goes. Let's start building. So part one, I needed to get electric paint. Fun fact, you can order this online. So after this talk, if you want to play around with electric paints, it's available everywhere. It is cool. And then I went and I bought a canvas in whichever store that you want to buy at. And then one thing that you need to know, especially when painting a piano, if you want the individual keys to play individual keys, you're going to have to paint them individually. Do not connect the lines at the end. I made that mistake. My piano was making one key at a time. And then part two, get some wires. In the office, there's always wires. I'm convinced ATC is building something, but that's my theory. So I got some wires with their permission, of course. And and then I had to get a circuit board so that I can connect the wires to now my computer. And this is where I realized that I have grade 9 knowledge on circuit boards and electricity as a whole. As a woman in STEM, nobody told me the E doesn't stand for electricity. All I knew was that if it's open, no electricity. If it's closed, we're good to go. But then I did some research again and I talked around with some people and I was introduced to something called a makey makey board, which is super cool. It uses a closed electrical loop for the electrical signals. So you just touch the earth and you touch whatever has electricity in it, and then it will take all those signals, push them up to your computer, and you'll be able to use it. So bada bing, bada boom, I connect everything. As you can see, my MacGyver levels were on level 13. I got some tape, I was putting things together. And I use Tone.js because it's a library that's available for JavaScript, making music on the browser, which is great. I wrote up a little program to interpret everything that I'm doing. And a few moments later, I came up with this contraption right here. Okay. So this is the part of the demo where I'm gonna need everybody to either cross their fingers or just squeeze their butts real hard. Pray to the demo gods that if I touch this, it's actually gonna work. Okay. Okay, we'll be cool. Thank you. But as you can see, I can play actual individual notes. I'll play you guys a little scale. Okay, to show that I don't have magical fingers and it's not just working for me, I'll get an audience member to come disrupt me. Okay, who would like to come? Oh, yeah. Okay, you right here, because I can see that. Okay, sorry, it was the lights. Okay, you popular. Okay, so what you're gonna do is, as you can see, this is the board. I don't have enough wires for all these keys, so don't press everything, okay? You're just gonna press, yes, from this key here to this key here. This is a B to a B. You're just gonna do a normal scale first before we start going crazy. Is that fine? You're gonna have to hold the earth because this is a closed loop, like I said. It's grade 9 up in here. Okay, so just start from here to here. No. Okay, I'm gonna hold him so that I can stop this. There we go. Thank you, thank you. Oh man, that's cool, right? So I've been playing with this thing for a while now. I'm like, I figured out that I can do this. Oh, sorry. There we go. I figured out I can do this. Pretty cool. And then I can play this. What? And then I figured out I can play two keys at the same time. Okay, so if you know this jam, just jam along. It's fine. It goes like this. As you can see, I'm a thug. But yes, it's been fun. Now all I'm thinking in my head, I'm not sure if this is the end or just the beginning. I've just scratched the surface of what I can do with just wires and some electric paints and some JavaScript. And a quote that I love, it says, once you see results, it becomes so much more easier. Because once you show yourself that you're able to reach this point, imagine where you can go from here. And at home, I'm not the only one who likes music. And as I was showing them through video call of this amazing thing that I've just created, I couldn't be able to show them how amazing it is because they're not here with me. We all love music, and it's something that connects us. But unfortunately, currently, our geographical location looks like this. I have a sister all the way up in Cape Verde currently. I'm in Johannesburg. My mom is in Durban. I have some friends all the way in Kenya. So I'm thinking, how can I be able to just seamlessly share this with them, not through a laggy video and all those things. And I thought, and I had a great idea to put more JavaScript, guys. Let me tell you something. JavaScript will save the day every single time. If you have an issue, more JavaScript. Don't let these Java people fool you. So that's exactly what I did. Went online, looked for another library or framework in JavaScript that I can use, and I found Socket.io, which is going to act like a real-time messenger. There's going to be a client and a server, and I'm going to play something here, and it's going to come up on their phone, and when they play something on their phone, it's supposed to send it to me. So we hear clearly of all of the things that we're playing. And then obviously I need to deploy it. I can't ship my laptop all the way to Cape Verde. It works on my laptop, but as we know, that doesn't work every time. So I just found a cool platform online to deploy my application. And then I created something called Family Keys. That's our family name when we sing. So I'll give you the QR code, but here's some disclaimers. So it's only going to be open to 5 people because I've only tested this with 2 people. So I don't want you flooding everything and breaking it before we actually have to hear it. And then if you are connected, it's just going to give you some instructions. Follow those. If you're not connected, you're just going to have to sit there and eat your popcorn and watch the movie unfold. Okay, so just for good measure, I'm connected here on my phone. And what I'll do is I'll show you if you're connected. If you click here, we do this. Technology. There we go. So if I click on my phone, it's supposed to come up on my laptop because my laptop is already connected. Okay, let's go. Okay, we will do that later. Everyone, scan the QR code. There we go. Here's your QR code. Okay, if you're lucky enough to join, that'd be great. And then everybody who won't be able to, if you join, just raise your hand. Okay, so if you have it and you just play, it should be playing off of all the other connected phones. Just turn up your volume and click on the icon. It's not working. Okay, turn up your volume. Aren't y'all breaking my application? Ah, you see now. Who brought the demons? No, yes. Ah, okay. Unfortunately, that didn't work, but later on, I'll put my piano up outside by the game jam, and you guys can jam away, and you'll be able to get on the application, and everything is going to work. But I'm going to ask for a round of applause as if everything worked fine. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my gosh. I know, right? I'm sending keys to my phone to somebody all the way in Cape Verde. It's crazy. I promise it worked. It's fine. But as you can see, we've just went from bananas flying a drone to a piano painting, sending music to your phone. Imaginary. But it's such a crazy idea that even when I went to AI this time around, it couldn't come up with a picture for me to share with you guys. So if you do find something that can describe a piano painting sending music to your phone, please tag me on whichever social media. I would love to see what that looks like. But then now you're asking yourself, Pindi, like, yeah, you're playing around, everything is fun. Like, why am I supposed to do this? Like outside my normal job, I'm already having fun. But then that's the thing, right? That's when we're playing around that we come up with the great ideas, that we move forward and we push ourselves. That's what leads us to innovation. And that's what we chase after, chasing after what could build society, what can make us better. It makes us push our boundaries, makes us see that if this can be done, what more can we achieve after this? But sometimes it's so hard to know where to start, right? Like, what am I supposed to play around with? Well, as you've seen today, just copy paste what you've seen, what led you to that inspiration in the first place, and then do some refactoring. According to evolution, we're version 6.2. So we should not be afraid to start where we already are and move forward from there. Actually, if you are a university graduate, you would know this as academic referencing. They do it so well. Academia knows that whatever idea that you have, somebody has said something similar. So you're going to take whatever research that they have already conducted and you're going to use that to help you forward your research. Something called secondary research. It's textbook. Don't be afraid. What they do is you already have ideas that have been explored. You just build off of what everybody else has done. And we should never be afraid of doing that. A quote that I love, it says, when people call something original, 9 times out of 10, they just don't know the original sources involved. Every new idea is just a mashup or a remix of one or more previous ideas. And that's when more possibilities come about. Even this quote itself, Austin was quoting a guy named Jonathan. That's how we just keep building and keep building. So, how do you go about doing this? First, be inspired. Don't be afraid to sit in the pocket of inspiration. Go to dev conferences, watch nice technical talks, and think to yourself, what more can I add to this space? And then, if you don't know where to start, like me, copy paste refactor. Okay, here's some examples so that you're not as scared. Anybody knows YouTube Shorts? Those are totally original, right? There's no other application that does this. Another one, Instagram threads. Yeah, totally original. Okay. So don't be afraid to start where others have done and just refactor it so that you are able to build. And then this is the pro part. You have to build it. A lot of us say in our heads, well, if I was doing that, I'd probably use this library. Or if I was doing that, it would have been better if she did this and that. Well, why don't you do it? Go out and buy the paints and do it, my friend. So yes, build it. That's where also you get to learn a lot of things. Because for me, I didn't know a lot about electricity until I started playing around with this thing. And then I also learned a lot of new JavaScript libraries. And then I got to know that there's something called electrical paints. I would have never come across this if I didn't do that. And then keep going. As you saw, I was able to build this contraption right here, but then it led me to building an application that I can now share with others. And who knows where that's going to go. So you don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great. And let me tell you something, I'm feeling really great that I was able to get started. And I know that as I keep going and I keep building on the knowledge that I have and all the inspirational things that I see around me, I'll be able to continue to contribute to society in a way that's very impactful. So just to close us off, I want you to come close, come under my arm, and I tell you, look at the possibilities everywhere. When you can build off of what others have been able to achieve, the future possibilities that you have are endless. And that is me, copy paste refactor, your backdoor to innovation. Thank you.